In the heart of Tanzania, nestled amongst baobab trees and sun-drenched plains, lay the village of Mwangaza. Here, life hummed with the rhythm of drums, laughter echoing between vibrant mud huts. But a shadow stretched across Mwangaza, a peculiar kind of sorrow. It clung to Mama Amina, a woman known for her warmth and gentle smile. Amina was expecting a child, a long-awaited blessing, yet her belly remained stubbornly flat. Her husband, Django Mkono, meaning strong hand, in Kiswahili, a skilled hunter with a heart as wide as the savannah, grew worried. One sweltering afternoon, as Amina sat by the village well, tears pricking her eyes, a voice startled her. It belonged to Zahara Maji, meaning flowing water, a newcomer with eyes like pools of moonlight and a laugh that tinkled like wind chimes. Zahara, shrouded in an air of mystery, had arrived a week ago, seeking refuge with the village elder. Mama Amina, Zahara began, her voice soft, why the tears? Shouldn't a mother-to-be be filled with joy? Amina, hesitant at first, poured out her woes. Zahara listened patiently, her gaze fixed on a distant baobab tree. Then, a mischievous glint sparked in her eyes. There's a hidden waterfall deep in the Mkondo forest, Zahara whispered. Legend says its waters hold the power to grant wishes, even the most impossible ones. Hope, a fragile ember, flickered in Amina's heart. Django, upon hearing the tale, was skeptical. The Mkondo forest was rumored to be a place of mischievous spirits and tangled paths. Yet, seeing the yearning in Amina's eyes, he couldn't refuse. The next day, with Django by her side, Amina ventured into the forest. Sunlight struggled to pierce the thick canopy, casting long, eerie shadows. Strange calls echoed through the dense foliage, making Amina cling to Django's arm. Finally, after hours of walking, the sound of rushing water filled the air. There it was, the hidden waterfall, its spray forming a shimmering rainbow mist. Amina, her heart pounding, dipped her cupped hands into the cool water. As she drank deeply, a strange warmth spread through her. Exhausted, they settled under a giant fig tree for the night. The following morning, Django awoke to a sight that made him gasp. Amina was cradling a plump belly, a radiant smile on her face. Tears welled up in his eyes, a mixture of relief and disbelief. They hurried back to Mwangaza, the village erupting in cheers and celebratory drumming upon their arrival. Months flew by, filled with anticipation. Amina, glowing with newfound happiness, prepared for the birth. But then, disaster struck. The night Amina went into labor, a chilling scream tore through the village. Django rushed to their hut to find Amina lying pale, a chilling emptiness replacing the joyful weight in her belly. The midwife, Mama Safi, meaning pure, shook her head gravely. The baby was gone, vanished without a trace. Grief engulfed Mwangaza. Django, consumed by despair, accused the forest spirits of taking his child. Amina, weak and heartbroken, could only stare at the empty cradle, a silent scream trapped in her throat. Days turned into weeks. One moonlit night, while Django sat by the well, lost in thought, Zahara reappeared. Her eyes held a strange knowingness. Django, she said softly, have you considered the possibility that the wish wasn't granted by the waterfall, but by someone else? Django's head snapped up, suspicion clouding his eyes. He remembered Zahara's arrival coinciding with Amina's strange pregnancy. Zahara, sensing his distrust, led him deep into the forest, to a hidden cave veiled by vines. Inside, bathed in an eerie green light, lay Zahara, cradling a healthy baby boy. The resemblance to Amina was unmistakable. Django roared with fury, realizing the truth. Zahara, a powerful woman unable to conceive, had stolen Amina's pregnancy with dark magic. Kibonge, though comforted by his mother's words, couldn't shake the feeling of incompleteness. As he grew older, his curiosity turned into a quiet determination. He trained with Django, learning the ways of the forest, the language of the wind. He dreamt of hidden caves and waterfalls, yearning for answers. One moonlit night, years later, Kibonge stood at the edge of the Mkondo forest. He had grown into a strong young man, his resemblance to Django unmistakable. Taking a deep breath, he stepped into the dense foliage, the whispers of the leaves guiding his way. He searched for days, his memories of Mama Safi's words fueling his determination. Finally, he stumbled upon the hidden cave, veiled by the same creeping vines. Hesitantly, he pushed them aside, the green light within beckoning him. Inside, the cave was silent, devoid of the eerie glow he had imagined. But in the center, a frail figure lay on a bed of leaves. It was Zahara, her once vibrant eyes clouded with age and regret. Kibonge approached cautiously, a mixture of anger and curiosity boiling within him. Zahara, upon seeing him, stirred. A gasp escaped her lips. "You!" she croaked, her voice barely a whisper. "Who are you?" Kibonge demanded, his voice firm. "Why did you take me from my parents?" Tears welled up in Zahara's eyes, glistening like tiny diamonds in the dim cave light. Shame colored her voice as she spoke, her confession weaving a tale of desperation and a yearning for a motherhood she could never experience. "I was barren," she rasped, her voice cracking. "For years, I prayed for a child, a piece of myself to carry on my legacy. When news of the hidden waterfall reached my ears, a foolish hope bloomed within me." She explained how she had spent years searching for the legendary water, her magic growing stronger with each passing season. When she finally discovered the waterfall, hope flared anew. But as she drank from its cascading pool, a chilling realization dawned on her. The waterfall didn't grant wishes, it amplified desires. Her desperate longing for a child twisted the magic, stealing Amina's pregnancy and weaving it into Zahara's own being. The guilt, she confessed, had gnawed at her from the moment Kibonge first stirred within her. Kibonge listened intently, the anger slowly giving way to a wave of sadness. He saw before him not a villain, but a woman broken by her own longing. He understood, to a certain extent, the yearning for a child, the ache of an empty cradle. "Why didn't you return me?" he asked, his voice softer now. Zahara let out a shaky breath. "Fear," she admitted. "Fear of your parents' wrath, fear of losing the only child I'd ever known. I raised you in secret, hoping the magic would somehow right itself, but it never did." A heavy silence descended upon the cave. Kibonge felt a pang of sympathy for the frail woman before him. Yet, the pain she had inflicted on his parents, the stolen months of his childhood, remained a raw wound. "What now?" he finally asked, the question hanging heavy in the air. Zahara, her voice barely audible, whispered, "The choice is yours, child. You can return to your family, or you can stay with me. I understand if you never forgive me." Kibonge stood there, torn between his anger and a strange sense of responsibility towards the woman who had birthed him. He thought of his parents, their love an unwavering constant in his life. He thought of the village, the laughter and warmth that had filled his childhood. But a part of him, a tiny, unexplainable part, yearned to understand Zahara, to unravel the mystery of his own existence. He knew, in that moment, that his journey wasn't over. Taking a deep breath, Kibonge made his decision. "I will return to my family," he declared, his voice firm. "But I will also come back for you. You will not die alone." Zahara's eyes widened in surprise. A flicker of gratitude, faint but genuine, flickered in their depths. Kibonge spent the next few days tending to Zahara's needs, gathering food and water from the forest. He learned about her life, her loneliness, and the magic that had both empowered and cursed her. Finally, it was time to leave. With a heavy heart, Kibonge bid farewell to Zahara, promising to return. He emerged from the cave, the weight of his decision pressing upon him. He returned to Mwangaza a changed young man. The villagers, surprised by his sudden reappearance, listened in stunned silence as he recounted his encounter with Zahara. Amina and Django, their faces etched with a mixture of relief and concern, embraced him tightly. Life in Mwangaza settled into a new rhythm once more. Kibonge continued to visit Zahara, bringing her news of the village and the warmth of human connection. The villagers, initially wary, softened towards him, realizing the complexity of his story. Kibonge, though forever connected to Zahara, remained a loyal son to Amina and Django. He grew into a respected hunter, his skills honed by his journeys into the Mkondo forest. He married a kind woman named Nuru, meaning light, in Kiswahili, and together they raised a beautiful family. Years later, on his deathbed, Kibonge gathered his children around him. He spoke of his journey, of the hidden waterfall and the lonely woman in the cave. He urged them to embrace their heritage, the tapestry woven from love, loss, and the unwavering power of family. The tale of Kibonge, the child of two mothers, became a cherished legend in Mwangaza. It served as a reminder that love comes in many forms, and that forgiveness, though difficult, can pave the way for healing. The hidden waterfall remained a source of fascination, a symbol of the unforeseen consequences of desires, both desperate and pure. And so, the story echoed through the generations, a testament to the enduring strength of the human spirit, its capacity for love and its ability to learn from the shadows of the past. The legend resonated not just within the village walls, but also beyond, carried on the wind by traveling merchants and storytellers. One day, a young woman named Zara noticed the subtle difference in spelling, arrived in Mwangaza, her eyes mirroring the moonlight Kibonge had described. She was a skilled herbalist, her knowledge vast and her touch seemingly imbued with a healing power. Whispers swirled around Zara. Some villagers, remembering the past, eyed her with suspicion. But Kibonge's children, raised on their father's stories, approached her with open hearts. They shared their father's legacy, the tale of the two mothers and the hidden waterfall. Zara listened intently, a flicker of recognition passing through her eyes. She revealed a hidden birthmark on her arm, a perfect replica of the one Kibonge possessed, a mark said to be passed down through generations in her family line. Could she be a descendant of the original Zahara, a thread of the past seeking reconciliation? News of the birthmark spread like wildfire. The village elder, a wise woman with eyes that held the wisdom of countless moons, called a meeting. She spoke of the cyclical nature of life, of how even the deepest darkness could eventually give way to light. Perhaps, she suggested, Zara's arrival was a chance to heal the wounds of the past. Slowly, trust blossomed. Zara, with her gentle touch and healing knowledge, earned the villagers' respect. She spoke of her own family history, of a woman ostracized for her inability to bear children, a woman who may have sought solace in forbidden magic. One day, Zara approached Amina, Kibonge's mother. They sat by the well, the very well where Amina had first confided in the original Zahara. This time, however, the conversation was different. They spoke of loss, of motherhood, and the enduring power of forgiveness. Tears were shed, but they were tears of cleansing and understanding. The legend of Kibonge, the child of two mothers, took on a new chapter. It became a story not just of hardship, but of reconciliation, of the possibility of healing even the deepest wounds. It became a testament to the interconnectedness of life, of how past and present could intertwine to create a future brimming with hope. And so, the village of Mwangaza, nestled amidst the baobab trees and sun-drenched plains, continued to hum with the rhythm of life. But now, the melody was richer, more complex, a harmonious blend of forgiveness, love, and the enduring strength of the human spirit.